There you go. First 3 bans on each side are out. A lot of what we expect in there. A couple of more jungle bans than maybe expected here at MikeYeung as they focused a new player on Echo Fox.
All right, Lux again first picked up this time around. We saw how effective it was in the last game with Big landing so many key light bindings over the game, finding those picks onto people. We noticed also he took the spell book that time on Lux, which is definitely out of the normal realm of keystones we've been seeing from Lux, but starting to gain a lot more momentum because of the flexibility, having the ignite for lanes, for all-in kills, taking the smites for later on as well, and teleport to get back to lane. I expect for Vulcan and Cody Sun, with the way that they play, for it to be one of those combat keystones that's a little bit more effective for all-ins like Aftershock, or maybe the Guardian if they're facing a poke-heavy lane.
Oh my word, we haven't seen Ierlia in so long.
Yeah, hasn't gone through the ban phase. And she was banned against Damonte yesterday as well. Those are the types of champions that Clutch have been trying to put Damonte on to really put him in a position to create his own plays for Clutch. He's one of the young guys on the team, North American talent that they really tried to put a lot more confidence, a lot more resources in. And he's got his pick of the litter. Actually, this is going to be AD heavy if they lock this in. Having both Qiyana and Ierlia would be a lot of attack damage threat for these backline divers.
Yeah.
So they would have to round it out with some more AP in addition to the Lux, but maybe that's one reason they're not locking it in quite yet. And they will remain flexible here. Ierlia is one of the last remaining flex pick solo lanes in the current meta.
See what he takes. Damonte always loves to have a lot of fun on the champion that he plays and can usually put a little bit of star power into that lineup. Let's see a Gangplank being locked in here. Probably Lourlo towards that top side. Remember last time these teams played, it was Lourlo and Panda that were in the jungle. Now MikeYeung, as Lourlo is still slotting in for this week 7. And we now get phase 2 of bans. What extra homework have the coaches done and what do they want to get out of the hands of their enemy?
Yeah, this is going to be Lourlo's first Gangplank of this split, but he's played it in the past. Of course, he only had a few games this split, subbing in that 1 week before, and then yesterday as well. Gangplank does provide a lot of extra power for the team if they want to make bottom lane plays. If the Gangplank can't survive on his own for the early laning phase, taking grasp in lane, which is very common now, and then using the ultimate every once in a while towards the bottom lane. That can be a focus for Echo Fox if they want to play off Apollo and Hakuho.
I feel like they keep synergizing these top laners that allow Abyssal Voyage to kind of catch up to a fight. Equalizer, Abyssal Voyage, Gangplank, ult, Abyssal Voyage here, as we saw the Equalizer last game with the Tahm Kench. Also saw an Academy a few times. The old, remember Ashe? She would teleport to her own arrow. They were running Ashe Tahm Kench. So you arrow Abyssal Voyage to your target pretty quick with that distance, and then you're able to take them out. Pretty fun stuff. Not a lot of engaging you see from Tahm Kench and team, but when you do, it looks pretty sweet.
All right, Echo Fox taking down some more AP threats because Huni has been the one to play Ierlia most frequently for Clutch Gaming. So they think that it's going to go to the top side. Also, you're talking about global ultimates and semi-global ultimates that provide a long way to travel. They want to take out that Twisted Fate to remove a split push character that Clutch can use. If you're trying to play into that style of spreading the map and creating a lot of early action, Twisted Fate is one of the best at joining skirmishes that are very far away and picking up a safe bottom lane. Ezreal, Tahm Kench, incredibly difficult to make plays on.
What's the answer from Clutch? Everything's pretty strong in each lane so far. Cody Sun says, what can we start a Fiesta with here? Sever up there, they can run to the party faster. How do you want to do? Or you can get there with Killer Instinct. Who even takes an Uber to the party? We teleport there.
Yeah, all right. Cody Sun gonna take that Kaisa. Kaisa Lux pretty decent early on. They're not gonna have to worry about too much since they're playing against Ezreal, Tahm Kench, and it will be the Neeko. Definitely a super strong lane here. Now these are still flexible, by the way. So Clutch with Ierlia and Neeko, both of these champions can be in either solo lane. So Echo Fox still have to worry about some pretty difficult lane matchups. Neeko doesn't have very many counter matchups. She's super strong early on. You can go AP, you can even go the on hit and switch it top lane. So they decide to go with some safety, some standard here. Corki in the mid lane, you basically just want to farm it out. and try and avoid the early action that Clutch are looking to create.
They do get the Corki in for Phoenix. See Huni on your screen as we go through the players. Huni looks like he's going to be on the Neeko. Up to 20 seconds left on the clock. That's the last point they can change. So players have a chance to coordinate. After that, we've seen players switch lanes, and that's the thing from top to bottom, mid to top, but it is up to them right now to figure out what's going to go where. And it looks like Damonte does get that Ierlia. He's had quite a few unique picks lately. They are in his champion pool already, but we've seen the Qiyana, the Zed, now the Ierlia. So it feels like he really wants to be able to make an impact and not show any kind of the same thing over and over again that an opponent could really use against him.
Yeah, this will be his 4th week in a row on a AD assassin, melee AD assassin at that. So they definitely have a style that they want to go for Clutch Gaming, and it revolves around getting kills early in the game, creating that action. I like that the matchup here too with Champion Select, Echo Fox have a lot more scaling, they have a lot more defensive opening to the game. So this is going to be a race between Clutch Gaming trying to create that early explosive kill and Echo Fox playing defensively early on to farm up to their first items, get some Trinity Forces under their belts, and then look to group up and use them.
The explosive early game really plays into what Clutch did last time, a 27-minute matchup between these two teams with a victory towards Clutch. Like you said, Echo Fox hold off a little bit and then get to that point where they can just lay down the beating. It's going to take a little time, though. See how defensive they can play, but also make a few of their own advantages here towards the early game. Damonte riding his blade to the lane. It should be a great matchup between him and Phoenix.
Yeah, we'll definitely be tracking the junglers early on. Lira's on the Skarner, which is something that he found a lot of success on last split, and even the split before that. It's kind of part of his mini resurgence as jungler. See if these strong lanes will allow him to play a little bit more aggressively as a Skarner. Right now they're looking for a little bit of deep information. They don't find any control or any trinket wards for themselves with that sweeper, but they do get a deep spire activation as Huni goes in to start that one out. MikeYeung will start on red, though, it looks like.
I love it as they try to go back and forth with these things in the early game. It's like, how much does it really matter to you? It's like, quite a bit, actually. I'm going to go back for
Delayed
it.
invade as well.
He's still here.
So he sees Damonte. You may not think that one's already passed, but...
Defend the ward!
Oh, no. Huni doesn't know. Now he sees Lourlo. He's like, okay, do not want to get pincered, but he's got a pretty long route back to lane. Level 2 won't be there immediately, but it's not like he's going to lose the Lourlo right away for that.
Meanwhile, you can see on your mini-map here, Skarner starting with the Raptor camp. So Lira's going to be doing a red side, top to bottom clear here. So transitioning into red afterwards. By starting the Raptor camp, you get an earlier Raptor spawn. Raptors is one of the easiest camps for Skarner to take because you start with your talisman, you have AoE, so you can easily apply that leech. And if you get to spawn it once again super early, that allows you a very nice 3 and 4 minute gank opportunity towards mid. So everything to me is already signaling about setup work from your own jungling path to allow Lira to spend time around mid lane. Raptor camp is the mid lane camp, basically, and it makes a lot of sense when you have an Ierlia mid that you want to try and help apply pressure to, because you never want to have an inefficient path where you go for ganks away from possible respawns here. And it is just that full red side clear first for Lira. You can see took everything down there. Meanwhile, MikeYeung on the other side, rushing to level 3 Jarvan with both buffs, and he's returning to the top side.
Looking at where he might go. That 3-4 minute gank, Damonte's already got a little bit of vision above him, so he has been able to see if MikeYeung took a path next to those Raptors just yet, which he has not. Good pressure topside from Huni. May call that MikeYeung to a different spot as he gets roaming around. Mike's taking Krugs right now, may pay Huni a visit, so get pressure release for Lourlo. There's the scuttle grab coming in here for Lira, letting the team know I'm going in, and question mark on the bot side for this might be where MikeYeung is, but not.
All right, pretty efficient so far for Lira. Able to take up the scuttle grab, and he will return for a delayed blue spawn as well, so he can have blue buff a bit later into the action. doesn't look like there's going to be too much possibility of an early offensive move from MikeYeung. He knows he has to head back down, cross the map for bottom scuttle. As Lira has taken the top side one. So far, Lourlo is doing pretty well CSing here with Gangplank. You know, taking the harassment early on from Neeko is sometimes fairly difficult. He's had to chug through all of his corrupting potion charges, though. And as you can see in the matchup of Sustain Wars, this will now go the way of Huni. You kind of whittle away at all those biscuits and control or corrupting potion charges of the Gangplank. Try and get him low and prep him for a possible offensive move.
But no, you're just banking it, as you're getting tons of gold as Lourlo. That's what counts.
Gangplank.
Just don't die.
The tried and true strategy.
Although he's grasping, but it's okay. You still get money if you're queuing those minions. We would see too much discrepancy in either lane. It's about a 10 CS difference here between Phoenix and Damonte as he keeps phosphor bombing everything into the turret here. And it can't even be cleaned up. This is the role we thought Lourlo was going to take after cleaning Krugs. That one minion just stepping up. Clear it, Lourlo, so he can run up. I think he might have been seen at that point. Trying to stay on the outskirts, though. Huni hasn't acted differently throughout this lane. Sweeper will detect. And Huni also knows due to that scryers. Or due to that clear, rather. Nice damage onto Hakuho as they trade back and forth. I mean, looking at the composition, Lourlo has orange. You're not going to really gank MikeYeung. Phoenix and Valkyrie. Where do you go as Lira once you do hit 6?
Well, it's always nice to have some support and some setup, but I have to say, looking at your Ierlia lane would be good for a level 6 Skarner. Currently top side, Huni does have flash, so we're not too worried about him, but he's getting pretty low.
Quite close. Good barrel play by Lourlo to almost double up on a quick parlay and then an auto attack to blow those up. That's Ocean Drake, however, with that knowledge, MikeYeung top going over to Clutch Gaming. With a little bit more HP in the lanes, you could start parties a little easier.
Yeah, after the first recall from junglers, you really have to worry about the cost of top lane ganks. Showing top lane like that, where MikeYeung just ganked for Lourlo, yes, you do burn the flash, but it comes at the cost of the dragon, because you do not have control over the bottom side of the map. Without your bottom lane being able to get that for you, junglers showing top side between 5 and 6 minutes means Ocean Drake acquired for Clutch. And that will be huge in allowing them to keep up the early game pressure that they want. They've got all these lanes that have either pushing power or kill threat. And now it's going to be very, very close to Lira level 6 Skarner. Predator boots plus a Skarner ultimate means that they can really effectively set up a gank in either the mid lane or the bottom lane. Whichever one they're able to have a nice gank pack for. Oh, Mike messes up his EQ.
Nobody saw that.
I saw that. Oh, now he's gonna pay.
Oh, he gets pulled right in. I said it wouldn't be on Jarvan first, Kobe. They find MikeYeung in the jungle. Flash down as well on that play. And first blood going over to Damonte.
I kind of want a pro view replay to see what happened there. Mike into the river, and then just the Q went out by itself. So Lira just walked straight up, and you're asking where you're going to use your first Skarner ult.
No.
It's on the Jarvan with no EQ combo, no dash. They kill him even with the flash being used. Clutch Gaming get the first blood, and guess where it went? Onto the Ierlia, the worst possible place for them. So Damonte now, who had been to behind in CS early on because of the range discrepancy, now extra money.
Says thank you very much. It's still quite early in the game for anything to happen throughout. Triforce being built up by Phoenix here. You see just a few long swords for Damonte as he feels comfortable after that purchase to walk back to lane. He keeps cleaning up the CS, and he'll get right back into this at just about even. Blue buff for Phoenix is now things just starting to heat up a little bit. MikeYeung may feel like he needs to be pressured into making a move, so we'll see what targets he goes for and what his priority is. Clean up by Lourlo at the turret. Looks like everybody's holding pretty steady for now.
More bindings landing on the bottom side. It's kind of as we were expecting. Vulcan is using the Aftershock for Lux, so it's a lot safer of a Lux. When you hit that binding, you get a huge increase in resistances and a lot less chance of return damage.
You see walking up right there. I'm okay taking a few hits and getting a 300 effective health shield. That's cool. as he walks out safely to clear some boards. They've had pretty dominant pressure on this bot side, and with Kaisa and Lux having such long-range abilities, you can cause your opponent to always have to be dodging, moving, and creating that fiesta.
Right,
here's what you're asking for, Kobe. MikeYeung Pro View.
His EQ comes up. Oh, it was just a split second before the flag came up. He tried to EQ while his flag was still on cooldown. That's why only the Q came out. You could see that cooldown clicking, ticking there though, and it was like maybe 0.5 seconds away from his flag actually being available, but that is where those sorts of death come from.
I swear, time actually extends when you need 0.5 seconds to feel like 0.5 seconds. Whew. It becomes longer. This is truth. Ask the Galaxy.
Also, is Damonte planning on going some lethality Ierlia here?
I like it.
He's got quite a few blades in inventory. So he went, I mean, he's been playing attack damage assassins, and we talked about, you know, Qiyana game, Zed game. So he's definitely looking to assassinate backline players.
Kind of liking those spikes right now, even on a different champion. Oh, Missile Voyage forward. Apollo following up with WQ maybe. There's one, there's a W, there's the Q. Pretty fundamentals there from Echo Fox. No gank happens though, as there's still a lot of safety coming out of Clutch's side. MikeYeung though, still getting a few attempts in, but this knowledge is also given to Lira, who's gonna get a perfectly timed referral start.
Yeah, once again, MikeYeung goes for a gank on the bottom side. This time Lira answers with an objective on the other side of the map, much like the early Dragon trade that they made. And Echo Fox have not been able to convert any of the ganks into kills. The summoner spells coming back up off of cooldown, so they haven't been able to punish yet. Cody Sun playing the 2v1 down here very effectively, just backing off, CSing from afar and allowing Lira to pick up this Rift Herald. We're still very early in the game, plenty of time before the 14-minute mark where the turret plates drop off. So Lira can get a lot of money out of this Rift Herald as well. They could even feed it to one of their carries, like the Ierlia.
That's crazy as well. The first time these teams played, 10 minutes in, Clutch Gaming had a lot of control on the game, able to choose where they wanted to go. Here, a bit of a volley. That's going to be Lira almost going down. He does to the aggro from the turret with some follow-up damage. 1 for 1, though, on those trades as they lose both junglers.
Yeah, Lira gets very deep there. I think he was trying to bait initially because he knew he did have the Lux backing him up, but here's Hakuho.
Says, I can devour you, Phoenix, if you want to go in. Looks like they did, but no devour necessary as they keep that wave pushing forward. Vulcan's here for a bit of protection. Let Damonte clean these right up. Has to be careful. There's some still big damage that can come out of Phoenix for that kill.
All right, picks the last one up, and it is going to be a reset after that. Both junglers going down in the mid lane party. Meanwhile, that means Huni knows no junglers can come to his lane, and he gets to continue to use the Neeko advantage, attacking Lourlo under the turret. This time around, Echo Fox, though, they will trade for the Dragon. MikeYeung revives. They're trying to burn it down. Clutch are going to answer.
Lux ultimate never makes this fun. Vulcan's very, very close to the fight, using that resistance from his rune very well. MikeYeung going to get in there, not getting it, and that's the Lux coming up with the Dragon. Vulcan comes up big. Lourlo's not going to try to get himself out. Just 150 HP in the marker. There's the auto attack. They actually give that to Damonte to make the Ierlia that much bigger. 2 down for Echo Fox as the Dragon goes to Clutch.
Yeah, that's a tragedy for Echo Fox. They've lost so much now. No dragons for them. Bottom side, they want to make a counter play on Cody Sun.
Gotta pressure something. They're gonna go hard for Cody Sun. One more lick to make it stick, and he's gonna get the flash out. He gets out of the 2v1 while mid is being taken down. Nothing's going the way of Echo Fox right now, as hard as they try to make it.
Yeah, big steal there. Vulcan with the Lux burst damage was able to get the Infernal Drake for them. They already had the pre-existing Rift Herald, so they're able to get the entire mid turret after that fight. All turrets placed, plus the first turret bonus. And now they are extremely rich. In the chase down, Damonte got another kill with the Ierlia. He's used his previous earnings to get his Tiamat. Let's take another look at it. MikeYeung with the teleport from his top laner, joining him at the Dragon. He gets bursted down. He has to smite early for health because he's about to die. So that smite also gets it into burst range for Lux.
Yep.
It's kind of a lose-lose situation though, because if he doesn't smite there, he dies anyway. So
for sure,
you know, it's just a matter of Clutch making a good collapse there, and Damonte is quite happy.
It's like, what with
mate? The outcome there. It was basically a situation where both junglers had died mid around the same time, and they both rushed as soon as they respawned to this Dragon. but Clutch had the better collapse from the rest of their laners. You know, the pincer movement there from Cody Sun and Vulcan, plus Damonte coming down, results in Damonte having the Tiamat for his Ierlia to annihilate minion waves, as well as getting some burst damage with the Sheen now.
I do enjoy that, kind of as blue side. It has to be a lot of warding if opponents are going to see each and every angle you're pincering from. Most Dragon fights are 5v5, you're looking into the white of your opponent's eyes, but when that happens, Clutch Gaming knew they had a bit of an advantage. Vulcan put himself right in the mix. Why not? He has that Aftershock rune. He's been playing quite well. 1-0-1 for him. Cody Sun at 0-0-1. As they know, they haven't been joining the party too much. It's been happening on the other side of the map, but I think they are okay with that. 4-1 now, and a 3,000 gold lead here for Clutch, as they look to be putting on some more pressure towards that top side of the map. Skarner's clearing things out, and they might put that damage onto Lourlo's turret quite soon.
Yeah, you saw all those pings just go down from the side of Clutch Gaming. It's because of all these deep wards. They didn't see MikeYeung, but they did see Phoenix trying to head down there with the package. And as soon as you see Corky with package heading down, you alert the entire team. Everyone backs off, so no play for Echo Fox. They're still searching. Phoenix now trying to make his way all the way to the top side, but another ward sees him pass by, and they won't be able to create anything. Package is going to time out, so he uses it right back to mid.
Easy farm. 30 CS lead about. They're on to Damonte, but those 2 kills, they're feeling pretty good for the Ierlia. Tiamat there, Stinger coming up as well. We're about to be able to finish up the Triforce right quick. This Voyage down behind. They're trying to get in between that turret. Nice hit on the Cody Sun. Able to get a dash out of that one, or use his Killer Instinct, rather.
Yep.
Makes himself nice and safe in the situation.
Cody Sun has been playing the weak side of the map, or maybe the more calm side of the map, we can call it, for Clutch Gaming very well. His Killer Instinct, he's constantly using it defensively for the shield and for the dash. This time, he's able to dash right out of the Cataclysm. There's a good try from Echo Fox, though, because they know he has no flash, so that's the area that they want to attack. That's why MikeYeung and both Phoenix tried to make a move down there. So they are continually looking for these opportunities, just not able to convert, and it's resulting in a very big lead for Clutch.
Big 4,000 gold lead, as you were saying. Cody Sun keeps himself safe there. Vulcan just off on the side. We heard Cody Sun talking about making everything a party. Quite funny, because in week 4, when we heard Vulcan in a quick interview say, Cody Sun is our no guy. If you want to go in, he's like, no, just at the turret. We're okay doing this. You're like, no, we want to dive more. No, just do this. Play it safe. I think everybody's kind of on board with the Fiesta thing now going forward, which is funny to see change throughout the season, as, you know, we're getting wins behind being proactive. So let's keep doing it.
It's really true. Now we're getting some of these high-powered item completions. Trinity forces come in from all sides. Phoenix and Damonte getting theirs in the mid lane, but also Lourlo on top side on that Gangplank. Mike.
Spooky ghost from Huni. He's going to slow down the rest of the team to also initiate. There's so much hitting MikeYeung right now, and he will finally go down, along with a kitchen sink coming across there to hit him. Hakuho, Grey Hell Shield, he should be good as Apollo fires in some Mystic shots from the side. No more real damage is sticking to the members of Clutch. And it's just going to be MikeYeung down for now. That's an obvious Dragon going over to Clutch, as they have no contest in that one. And they just continue to pick up these small wins that make it that much harder for Echo Fox to find a window back into the game.
Yeah, Mike tried to flash next to Hakuho there to get the Devour out to get saved, but Hakuho couldn't get him in time. So another kill over and another Dragon down. This is 3 elemental Drakes for Clutch Gaming. Complete control now in the early game. These outer turrets are going to fall in quick succession. This will be the last one they pick up. The map is wide open, and they are well funded to continue the pressure in this game.
And you can see the Clutch knows they are preying on MikeYeung, and it's affecting him. The early gank in the jungle was something that happened to be theirs, but the tag-ons after, they know they're stronger than him because he's been a bit behind, because he hasn't been able to get those kills in, as Lira has been able to provide the assists. So each fight the Clutch takes, they are more and more confident if MikeYeung is going to be that initiator. We saw them going right in on that one in mid lane, and now Mike, like, he may offer or even take this for himself to actually kind of get himself continue to build up.
Yeah. He's definitely behind, as you're mentioning, so he's trying to catch back up here, take some extra experience for himself off the red buff. Phoenix, unable.
He's playing fetch. He knows what he's doing.
This blue buff is not having any patience.
Got it. Do a little shimmy shake. All right, so jungle needs to be cleared by everybody. They're really sharing at the moment. MikeYeung still trying to clean up as many camps as possible. Well, they are rightly his. You might see Apollo starting to clean those up too. Good CS between the marksmen as we check in on and take stock of those CSs across the board. Big bounties to be picked up by Clutch, so a little light at the end of the tunnel there for EchoFox, but it's so conditional on how that fight would actually work out in their favor. They're gonna have to find something where Clutch is making an error.
Yeah, these are the 3 key members, these carries on the side of Clutch that do have some bounties stacked up. EchoFox have to be very careful not to completely fall into the doom and gloom scenario. They've been on a losing streak. You know, they're definitely behind in this game, and it starts to get really rough and hard to find an avenue to come back in these games. But they have to keep looking for their plays, because if they sit back here, Clutch are going to be able to control these neutral objectives, and the Baron is about to spawn with Infernal, Mountain, and Ocean Drakes at their disposal. Clutch will easily be able to take a Baron even as early as 20 minutes in the game, right when it spawns, if EchoFox kind of lose their bite and they don't try and contest some of these fights. So we'll see if they can actually set up and do it. MikeYeung right now and the rest of the team trying to get some vision leading up to Baron so they don't lose out on this objective.
It's so tough. You can see the immense pressure that Clutch has. We just saw Phoenix place a ward. It was cleared as soon as he placed it. Already fighting over this vision ward. Vulcan gets hit. He has flash. Stays in for a little bit to be the target, but that's going to be his life as he stays in too long and gets cooked up. Killer instinct onto MikeYeung. He could go down. Nice job by Damonte kind of holding the back line, but he can't get into the fight as he's stuck in red pit. Huni fighting a 2v1 of Apollo and Hakuho. There it is, Damonte is in, flawless duet just missing, but they're gonna grab, and they are gonna get away with that one. Nice job, and a kill onto Hakuho. His flash is down from that fight as well. Phoenix over the wall, that's the stopwatch, less than 100 HP for Lira, and he skirts out of that one by the skin of his teeth. Damonte's in, Damonte's out, as that party was a little too much with 3s a crowd from EchoFox.
EchoFox, they need to make some plays, and they get some kills back for themselves. Good to see some life in them. Now they're pushing ahead, tries to get the snipe, doesn't quite get it. Cody Sun is still dangerous though. They want to push down a turret afterwards, but Cody Sun's dishing out quite a bit of DPS.
Nice job using the Neeko clone. Everybody stepping forward to save the mid turret, which is actually huge. Having that open up would allow EchoFox a few more forward wards to see where Clutch is coming from, but I say right now, EchoFox needs to ward up their side. Everything's happening on that side of the map for them, and they need to figure out where Clutch is going to be coming from next. Here's this fight again. All
right, so MikeYeung's going to try the initiation here, dodging a couple of the skill shots on the backside. They get the flash and they get the kill onto Vulcan, but because Damonte came down from the red buff and lands the ultimate onto MikeYeung, that allows Cody Sun to ult in there on Kaisa. Killer instinct finishes that off, and then Huni in the Raptor pit was able to tie up Apollo and Hakuho. Damonte goes for the flash stun, but it's a good stopwatch from Apollo to delay it and buy time, because they just need to buy time for Lourlo to get here. Then they put out a lot of pressure. Lira barely gonna get that stopwatch, which does delay his death, and it allows him to walk out on the backside, but Damonte missing that stun means he is left without any teammates because everybody else had to evacuate, and he is the one to go down, giving one of the bounties over to EchoFox. Now, though, they're under attack.
GLP is the Baron, tries to get some damage out. That's Hakuho immediately. That's the guy that wants to be saving others. MikeYeung goes down. That's the 50-50 smite. Now in the favor of Clutch Gaming. No more 50-50 for EchoFox. You can't even get Unsealed Spellbook onto Hakuho at this point, and that 2 members down means Clutch Gaming is going to tempt the fight. They are going to test EchoFox, and Phoenix can fire in the shots. Lourlo can set down the barrels. Apollo has the Mystic range, but is it going to be enough to take this one away from Clutch Gaming, who are about to solidify their stance on this game? Lourlo going out, good hits onto Phoenix. That's the killer instinct from Cody Sun. He's into the middle of the fight. Apollo over the wall to try and do a bit more damage, but it's only going to be a little bit. This could be the inside the park Penta coming in for Cody Sun.
They are able to take everything from EchoFox with that play. Clutch immediately striking back after EchoFox had gotten a little bit of hope. And now it's Baron buff on Clutch Gaming. They're going to push mid, push top, and take the dragon all at the same time. This map is in their control, to say the least.
23.5 minutes in, and they continue on the second tier turrets on the top side. Huni has kind of just been on his island, but 2-0 and 6 kind of in the shadows doing this work with the Neeko.
And watch this, Huni does a really good job playing frontline and screening for
Great
Echo Fox.
stones.
Yeah, the entire time he was zoning those 3 members, throwing out skill shots, keeping them outside the Baron. Then he also hits the ultimate, lands the snare there, allows Cody Sun to Killer Instinct in for another couple kills. That's a 6-kill Kaisa now, by the way. Whew, that did not get camped for early, was not focused early. Now he's got the Muramana Transform in addition to the Rage Blade and the Rapid Fire Cannon. So Cody Sun here on the Kaisa, huge DPS threat.
Well, I would say Clutch has got the party started, Kobe. They are off and running, and they continue to invite more friends to each one of these fights. It seems Echo Fox falling over as they try to attempt these, but also not sitting back when they know they need to pressure. That was a must go for on that Baron, kind of at least try to get Clutch off. Unfortunately, it weighs on Echo Fox a little bit more, and Clutch is only able to walk down mid now, waiting for Damonte to bring up that cavalry on the bot side.
Yeah, we're only 24 minutes into this game, and Clutch are already looking like they want to storm the inhibitors.
The victory came last time 3 minutes from now, Kobe. As we tick up to 25, that's going to be 2 minutes as we math very hard here in the LCS. 12-3, the kills, as you said, onto Cody Sun, onto Huni, onto Damonte, and they picked that Ierlia and Neeko to make sure they would win the side lanes. Definitely getting those conditions down, and the win is going to come very soon. Waiting for the Canyon Minion to at least not have Baron or the rest of the wave coming up. Always pausing the play for a few seconds there. It was a reprieve for Echo Fox, but the train is coming down the tracks very soon.
And notice what's happening right here. You can see on screen, nobody went for those minion waves immediately because you want to sync them up.
Yep.
When both mid wave and bottom wave hit the turret at the same time, that's when you can move in and apply a lot more pressure. You can see Cody Sun now getting most of the turret, binding landing as well.
You make your opponents pick and choose which way they're going to go. Huni's actually taking a good bit of turret shots, but gets the Pop Blossom off and denies a bit of the aggro there. Gets himself to safety. It's Apollo down. They don't have too many more members. They're going to be able to clear out these minions very fast. The wave clear is a bit lacking on the side of Echo Fox. They got to get close, and they have to be in a dangerous position to get these minions away from their turrets. Mid now pushed in by Clutch here as they put the finishing touches on another inhibitor and its turret.
Yeah, Clutch looking on point today. They get both inhibitors, destroy the entire base, 6,000 Baron power play as it just now finally times out. And they get to return to base a rich team.
The last few games, we've had some huge power plays coming through. Optic as well had one for themselves. Magi's in for Huni up at 10 stacks there. He's got a few books on him. Librarian Neeko for him today as he goes for that Morella Namicon on top of his Spooky Ghosts and that GLP Super Soaker. A lot of core items as you look across their inventories here. You do have the Infinity Edge for Phoenix. He can maybe get somebody by surprise with a shock and awe, but there aren't many moments when he's only finding one member of Clutch.
Yeah, that's what it's got to be now for Echo Fox. It's got to be surprise. Everybody group up on a control ward or maybe find somebody from Clutch who's spread out from the rest of the team. Because other than that, they are just out itemized.
Out a lot of things. Out partied, out itemized. It seems like Clutch had organized through this party and forgot to tell Echo Fox. There's a kill onto MikeYeung as he's just trying to get away. They can't even be in their own jungle at this point, let alone past those stairs on the base. Last inhibitor turret's taking damage from Clutch as they're doing a fantastic job. 4 Drakes in here. And just sub 30 minutes into the base now of Echo Fox. Good damage going over onto Hakuho as they lose Huni on the front line. Damonte now has his back turned. Everything in defense for Clutch, but Lira says no. Turn and go. That's going to be damage as they take down Phoenix. Lourlo falls quickly after, and they're not going to need Damonte to follow up on the rest of the members of Echo Fox. Damonte will be coming in with that mid lane wave, and it looks like they have Nexus turrets in their eyes against Echo Fox.
Yep, they got double Ocean Drake regeneration. Allows them to continue the siege, and the super minions, Mike goes in!
Mike goes in, the flag and drag, but it looks like he gets tagged by the minions as he gets taken down by Lira and co. That's going to be the damage they need as well to take down Hakuho from the Grey Health, almost on the Fountain Apollo, and Hakuho going down as Damonte goes for the house dive. not welcome at all, but Clutch are going to take the victory.
I really like the style that Clutch have been committing to. Taking a lot of playmaking solo laners for themselves, going high pressure, trying to be very active early in the game. Didn't work out yesterday versus Team Liquid, but that is a very difficult opponent to test that type of strategy against. And today, much more successful with it against Echo Fox. They controlled all the dragons, the better of all the skirmishes there.
And a bit of a change as well. I believe Coach Artemis as well on stage with them. I apologize if I'm wrong, but new coaching staff for Clutch as well that is on stage with them during picks and bans. It seems like they are getting a few more things that they just have a little bit more punch with, and they can be more of the kind of player they want to get into game and be, instead of say, oh, I need to sit back, I'm playing a tank champion or X. Clutch Gaming went hard on that one.
Yep. Huni on the Neeko, able to play very, very well. People have been looking for him to have a return to form. And if they've got Damonte on these, assassins in the mid lane trying to create plays, and Huni's playing his high pressure style, then the entire team kind of gets to go off of the same game plan. And that is where they're finding their success.
And we see, like you said, Damonte having a few different champions that were unique to play, gets the Ierlia. We know it's going to be strong, but it was like riding a bike. And the Zed, the Qiyana was there, and he said, you know what, not this time. I can have as much fun as I want right now. And it seems like the team is just in that jovial mindset. And a lot of teams are having that towards the end of the split, where they've somewhat, as they say, find that identity, and they're a little bit more comfortable playing and having everybody shot call. For more on that win, Pastry Time is standing by for an interview. Take it away.
Thank you very much. It is Tanner time here in the LCS Arena. I'm here with Damonte, the mid laner of Clutch Gaming. Picking up a win here to bounce back after the weekend. How's it feeling after the 1-1?
Pretty good. It's second week, we 1-1 now. So, I'm really going for the 2-0. The rest of our schedule is pretty easy. So, glad we can go 1-1 against a week where we should.
And do you feel like there's been any recent changes to Clutch? Because I feel like stylistically, we've heard that you guys want to play more aggressive. What has that change been like to kind of bring the team together in the back half of the season?
Well, we had a coaching staff change. So we have Artemis and ThinkCard now. And I think we changed our style a bit off of that. We're kind of playing less like monkeys now, kind of. When we go into scrims, we're like, okay, let's have a deathless game here. Let's try to actually play correctly rather than, we're going to fight and pretend we're G2 or IG or something. So, yeah, it's been a big change with the staff, I would say.
And then for you, kind of as a younger player that's maybe still finding their way through the LCS, how do you kind of make those changes and find more consistency?
Well, I would say, as a young player, you're kind of the player that has to change on your team. So for me personally, my experience in LCS so far, I'm surrounded with a lot of veterans, especially Huni. I've played with Huni all my career, and I kind of have to mold my playstyle around how my teammates want to play, I would say, because I'm the new player. And I think I've found my footing for the most part here. I'm playing a lot of different champions now. I'm really comfortable on stage, so it's been going great.
Well, it certainly seems to be working out so far. Thank you very much for having a chat with me. Congratulations on the win today. With that, we are going to throw things back to the State Farm Analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Pastry Time. I do want to jump on the end of that interview only because I think it's well, I was about to turn and say, come on, let me do my job.
Crumbs is host now.
I was going to say, because we have Bifrost on the desk, thank you very much, Crumbs. I was curious, as you are now very much a veteran within the LCS.
That's strange.
Well, yeah, right? Yeah. Exactly. So you've been through kind of that progression from, the new young gun in a team of veterans to now being one of the more veteran players on your roster. How do you align with that, or how do you, agree or disagree with the statement of the younger players needing to be the more flexible ones in terms of changing a team's dynamic?
I think that's what you see most of the time. The rookie comes in and all the veterans have these ideas and you're like, okay, I'll listen to you because you're a veteran. You've been playing this game a lot longer than I have. But sometimes you get a very opinionated rookie that's like, no, I want to do things this way and has very specific play style. And that's when the veterans are like, oh, this is kind of refreshing. I didn't really see this point of view, but you're actually right. That doesn't happen very often, though.
Right. Yeah. And I guess I would assume also at the end of the day, it comes down to support staff to really navigate that discussion and figure out which direction to go.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do it the way you heard Damonte talk about it. C9 is a team that is a good example of not doing it that way. Whenever they bring a new player in, the rest of the team is actually what kind of changes their play style to suit him, which happened with Kumo, Licorice, Blabber, and so it can be very effective if you're trying to highlight that rookie and make them feel comfortable.
All right, but go ahead.
Has it happened with you? Have you met a rookie that's changed your ways?
I Well, I think when Wiggly joined our team, he was very aggressive and he voices his opinion a lot. In the beginning, he was just like complaining like, oh, this is wrong. Like, oh, what are we doing here, guys? And then eventually became a lot more constructive and we got to refine it. So it's more about like looking at the strengths of whatever player that you're bringing in and kind of molding it.
And here you sit at 9-5, so we can't throw any shade at that. For the side of Clutch Gaming, though, I think it is important to note that they are challenging for that playoff positioning, and so every single victory that they can pick up is very important. So while this is over a struggling Echo Fox here today, important that they get the win. A 1-1 week, as we heard Damonte say, is something that they'll be happy with, but that they expect these last 2 weeks for them to really step it into gear and prove that they are worthy of that 6th and final spot in playoffs.
And this,
go ahead.
I was going to say, this was a pretty quick game for Clutch Gaming. It was not really out of question outside the first 5 minutes before anything happened, and then very quickly they took control of this game.
So I'd like to go ahead and dive into just some of the plays within this game because, as you mentioned, it felt to some degree determined early on. But because we have Biofrost here, I want to take a look at all of these plays and talk through it from the perspective of a pro. Strategically and decision-making wise, where you would have done things differently, the same, pushed objectives harder or not.
I feel
What
like,
would you have done differently here?
well here's like just a mechanical mistake. But I feel like MikeYeung looking for that first gank top was not the best move. They end up giving Ocean Dragon because of it, and this just swings all the matchups like even more. And they lose this fight here where MikeYeung doesn't even smite the dragon, and they just completely get wiped here, which is just, it's pretty much over for Fox, which relies on early game to get ahead.
I want to go back to the first Dragon point and explore that a little bit more, because I think that's very interesting. Specifically the fact that it was the Ocean Drake, but you mentioned how a Drake early on can swing entire matchups.
It's
and so,
insane.
Exactly. So break it down a little bit more on a micro level. Within this game, what all changes as soon as that Ocean Drake is secured?
So here you have like Ezreal TK, which needs to poke, and once you have Ocean Dragon on the enemy team, you just can't poke anymore. And you have GP versus Neeko top. Neeko wants to just constantly push GP in, and the only like saving grace for GP is like all-inning or getting Neeko slowly like poked, but there's just no options there after you get the Ocean Dragon.
It's the power of the Ocean Drake. I mean, even Faker has said that his favorite dragon is Ocean.
It's broken.
So when you get it before like a 15-minute mark, all of a sudden all of your matchups are just in heaven. They don't have to do anything. They can passively win.
And a lot of people talk about the healing portion of it, but for a lot of matchups, it's the fact that you have the mana regen as well. So for Kaisa, Q spam on the wave. For Neeko, if you want to throw your E through the wave to get the push faster, like you have more options on how to control the wave or push people in to get pressure.
So how does the conversation then go when you load into a game? Because you don't know which Drake is going to spawn until you get in at level 1. Is that one of the immediate things you guys are communicating when entering into a game is, okay, how does this Drake change our entire early game plan?
Yeah, in our TL game, we actually lost Ocean Dragon because we ganked top. So it's very similar to this scenario. And we've been making fun of teams that just gank top and we're like, oh yeah, it's fine to die Ruin. We got Ocean Dragon. So we just win the game now. It's just insane how much prio teams have on Ocean Dragon because it just changes the outcome of the game.
Yeah, I think in terms of early game ones, it's definitely the highest in how it influences lane matchups. Things like Infernal Drake scale off bonus AD and AP. So early in the game,
later.
Yeah, they don't really do anything.
I mean, I think it's educational that we definitely get this on the Ocean Dragon, but I don't think that the Ocean Dragon really played a key factor in.
What? There are some other problems.
Let's go back to reality.
Yeah, okay, that's totally fair. So then let's look at Clutch from the perspective of being on that bubble. Right now, tied for 6. Yes, they hold the head-to-head over Golden Guardians 1-0 at the moment. They will play each other on the very last day of regular split play. Of course, they might not be tied at that point. So let's talk about how Clutch can avoid a tiebreaker or even needing to win that final game in terms of improvement steps they can take to really refine the style that Damonte says this new coaching staff has helped them kind of target.
I like it.
I like it so far, too. They say, no, they're more control, but they're still keeping a lot of their tendencies in terms of draft and stuff. They have CLG next week, so they're doomed. And then, of course, they play 100 Thieves and Golden Guardians, the two other teams in the race right now. So they kind of have control over their destiny coming into that final week to make sure that they actually grab the final playoff spot.
Biofrost, I've been asking all of our guests on the desk this weekend. I'll pull up the standings for you here. You can see the teams, you know, in, I guess, now 6th through 10th. Golden Guardians, Clutch, 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, and Echo Fox. Who would be your dark horse to make that push for playoffs?
I think for sure 100 Thieves. They have been
That's the second person who said that.
They've been improving a lot, actually, and I'm surprised they haven't done a lot better recently, where they have like a couple games where they just mess up. But I think they're definitely the team to look at.
All right, keep your eyes on 100 Thieves, everyone. Biofrost, thank you so much for joining us today. Crumbs, would you like to thank him as well?
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. All right. Up next, 100 Thieves. That team to keep your eyes on battles it out against FlyQuest in Game 5. Don't touch that browser.